The Online Entrepreneur Motivation Series, discussing ideas, strategies, and mindsets to help online entrepreneurs become more successful. Today, we're going to be talking about productivity, being productive. One of the most important things you can do as an online entrepreneur. Are you productive? How would you rate your levels of productivity on a day-to-day basis? Do you really nail it every single day? Do some days find your productivity as at a peak level and then the next day you get nothing done? Do you struggle in this department? Today we want to quickly focus on this so you can put some strategies in place really quickly so that you're productive all of the time, not just some of the time. It's not going to be easy, but a few quick changes can drastically increase your productivity levels, which will, at the end of the day, make you more money and help you become more successful in business. Now, first realize this. Productivity itself creates happiness. Think about it in your life for a minute. Go back and think about times where you were really productive, not just at work. It could have been at home, cleaning out the garage, or doing yard work, or accomplishing something. When you were productive, at the end of that stint of production, when you looked at your work, you felt great about yourself. I mean, this is as simple as when you play with your kids and you build a snow fort. You were productive. You put all this stuff together, and at the end of it, you could look at your creation and you felt good about that. Productivity at its root gives us life, makes us feel happy, gives us inspiration. And if we can tie our happiness back to our productivity, it makes it that much easier for us to put ourselves into situations where we will be productive on an ongoing basis. Now, the opposite is also true. If you're not productive, then you usually feel pretty miserable. If you have people in your life that are miserable and constantly bringing you down, take a look at their levels of productivity. And I bet you won't be surprised when you see that they're not as productive. They're stuck in a rut. They're stuck in what we're talking about right now, the enemy of productivity, which is procrastination. And what is procrastination? It's delaying something you know you need to do, and you're delaying it probably out of some form of fear. It could be just fear of the pain of doing it because you really don't like writing, you don't like confronting somebody, or it could be rooted in some other fear where you're really going to be putting yourself out there. You're not getting your work done, your book done because somebody else is going to now be in a position to judge your work. And so instead of doing this thing that you should be doing, that's going to make you productive and grow your life and business, you're doing something else like checking email that you rationalize in your mind is also an equally important task when it's nowhere near as important as this productive task that you should be doing right now. And your body, our bodies are naturally built this way. We feel horrible when we're not productive. And procrastination makes us feel horrible. So the only antidote is to turn it around and become productive. And that's the key. The key is real productivity comes from the necessity to deliver. If you are on the hook, if you have a deadline and there's no way out, you get a lot more productive than if there's a soft deadline or a floating deadline or no deadline at all. Think about any time you've set a project for yourself. If there was a deadline and there were people waiting on you, you got it done. If there was nobody waiting, you didn't get it done. Maybe you did, but you're an extraordinary individual. Chances are you did not get it done. So knowing this, you can start architecting your days and your agendas and your schedules so that you put yourself in a position on purpose where you have to deliver because there are people waiting, there are agendas or deadlines to be hit, and if you don't, there are consequences to pay. And that's not always easy to make that decision, but is the only way to guarantee productivity on a day-to-day basis. You might motivate yourself. You might watch a bunch of motivational videos or listen to really energetic music and get pumped up and increase your productivity in the short term. But without that intrinsic built-in necessity to deliver, I guarantee your productivity will dip unless you've absolutely conditioned yourself to do this on a daily basis. Most of us haven't, so we've got to create these instances or these forms that lock us in to delivering on our commitments. That's where productivity comes in. So let's talk about some exercises that will help you become more productive. There are two things you need to do. First, make a list of when your productivity peaked. Why did it peak? Think back. It's probably because you were locked in. You had some kind of agenda to deliver on. Somebody was expecting something of you, and you got it done. Then go back and make another list of when your productivity dipped. And why did it dip? Look at the things that cause you to procrastinate, cause you to become less productive. How did you feel when you were less productive. Remind yourself of that awful feeling of not getting things done. Then go ahead and lock yourself into more and more situations where you will be forced to be productive. Make it a daily habit. Maybe your new habit is every single day you commit to someone or a group of people that you will deliver something. And by virtue of doing that, the just very nature of doing that, you will be a more productive individual. This will help you habituate productivity into your life. Now you're making the goal, the productivity, more important than the procrastination, more important than the fears, and you will get results.